And welcome back to the Silver and Black Radio Podcast. I'm your host, Raider Will, and I am here with my boy from TBH Dallas. All in, what up, baby?
What up? What up?
I got my boy Matty B from TBH Western Colorado. What's good, baby?
What's up, fam?
Hey, yo, big news today, guys, we talked about it a little bit before the show. Jimmy G PEDs, baby. Obviously he's out there on this trip. He might need that little bit of more go for the Joe. And, who knows what happened? I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, all I know is that, hey, I see this as a huge benefit for the team. We can definitely see that, hey, you know what? It's going to give us about $10 million in salary cap space back. It's a big win for us because guess what? That contract was just terrible. Guys,
Yeah.
what's your guys' thoughts? What do we got? Yo, let me start with Matty B.
I think it's a good deal. Like you said, the contract we gave him was horrible to begin with, and kind of stuck us with him, So cutting him and taking that hit at the end of the year was gonna suck, but he kind of helped us out a little bit. So thank you.
Yo, what do you think, Colin?
Same thing, man. Like he was gone regardless, right? So it's a huge plus that we get that cap space back. Who knows what he was doing or why he was doing it, because it sure as hell didn't help him perform on the field.
Well, and that's where I was questioning it, where I'm like, man, you get busted with PEDs, whether I don't know what it was. Maybe it was some cream or you know what it is with the NFL. It's pretty much anything that, they have a huge list. I don't know the whole freaking banned substance list. But I mean, like, you're a paid professional. You have a team of
Yeah.
people around you. You should know what the fuck you're doing and what you're putting into your body and what you can't. Again,
100%.
right? And again, you're not on the field. You're not doing anything positive for the team. And right now, we are a quarterback needy team. We always said, hey, you know what? What were we going to do with Jimmy? Like now he pretty much answered the question himself. He said, yo, I'm out the door. I've already got this solved. Now, guys, like we were talking about, gives us a big salary cap boost, right? We're talking about 10, and I think you were talking about 48 mil. Is that where we're at now?
Yeah, that's a number I saw. I don't know how accurate it is, but I think that's the number post Jimmy cut. So it's like almost $49 million.
Okay, and that's us cutting them after the first, or
There's a March date that we have to cut him after. But yeah, I'm not sure how all the logistics work, but from my understanding, he'll get cut once the league year starts, and then that frees up that space.
okay. And guys, I mean, like, so we were talking about it before. At 48 mil plus, the NFL is going to go up $30 million in salary cap space. Okay. That puts us somewhere around close to $70 million in cap space. That lets us bring a big guy in, somebody with a big name, right? A guy that can be a playmaker, a game changer, things like that. Guys, who do you guys see being that game changer? Who do you guys see that guy that you guys would be like right now saying, hey, you know what? I'm willing to put my chips down. I know that we got a lot of guys right now that might get tagged. Doesn't matter, okay? I don't care if their team tagged them or not. Who's the guy that you're saying right now, hey, you know what? I got $70 million in cap space. I'm going to give them about $25 to $30 million. And let's be real, that's probably what the guys are going to command. So who do you guys see as that guy? Let me start with All In.
Man, I've been back and forth on this all day. Everyone, the obvious one, right? Everybody's saying it's Chris Jones. I'm not convinced Chris Jones is leaving, whether he gets tagged or not. I'm just not sure he's going to. But that would be an awesome piece to steal, right, from KC. Um, Man, I don't know what the top cornerback market is paying, but I think we need a big time, big name vet, like Sneed or Howard or Alexander in the secondary. I wouldn't mind spending some money there too.
And I mean, what I like about what you just said right now is here's the big thing with Chris Jones, okay? I know Chris Jones is the big name. He's a beast. He's a disruptor, but he's on the other side of what, 30 now, right? He's 30
I
something.
believe so. Yeah, that's the other thing.
You're 31, something like that.
Yeah. So if you're 30 something years old, you're only going to get about 2 to maybe 3 more good years out of that guy. So when you're investing that type of money, like I really feel like you should invest it in some youth and a guy that's going to be there long term. The guy that I see at that defensive line spot, okay, is a guy that you said is Wilkins out of the Dolphins. He's younger. He got like a lot of the abilities that he does, and I don't think he's going to command somewhere north of $30 million. Um,
That's what I got right here. Look, under my defensive tackle,
That's honestly
Wilkins is the first one, and Jones is my second one. And all for those reasons, man. I mean, he's younger. He's going to command. He'll probably command around 20, I would think.
And what I like is what Matt said about him last episode. The guy is, dude, he can play inside. He can play outside.
Mm-hmm.
He can play opposite side of Max. He can play same side as Max. I mean, like, he has a lot of diversity. And
I think he's better up the middle, though, because he's more of a true defensive lineman than he is an edge rusher. So that's what we really need in him. So I think, if we added Christian Wilkinson, that's if he can't get, honestly, I'm with you guys. I don't think Jones is going anywhere. I think he's going to get a deal with the Chiefs. If not, they're gonna get rid of him to somebody else. He'll go somewhere else. I don't think he'll play against the Chiefs on our team.
So let me ask you, Matt, what's the big name you bring in? Are you on board with the Wilkins? Is that the
Wilkins?
Guy
he's a big name, but he's not the big man on my board. If I'm going after somebody besides Jones, it had to be a corner, like a shutdown. I'd spend some money on a cornerback, a proven one. You'd have to have like an X out, Howard, or even what's his name?
Alexander.
Alexander, yeah, that's the guy.
So okay, we said a proven.
The other one that people aren't mentioning is it Josh Johnson or Jalen Johnson?
Jalen Johnson
from the Bears. From the Bears.
Is it the Bears?
Yeah.
That's what I was about to bring up. I said, hey, that guy, so you're looking at it. You want to bring in a secondary guy.
If we're bringing in somebody, we need a shutdown corner, honestly, to tell you the truth. Because if our pass rush doesn't get to them, we need somebody in the backfield that can shut down their number one receiver. We usually get if take Mahomes for example. If we let him just get out, their receivers get open. You know what I mean? So if we can have that one guy that can shut down at least their top receiver, that helps us out a little bit more. If we can't get the pass rush, you know what I mean?
So no, I agree with you, and I mean, I think that's where you got to look at it, and you're saying, hey, we all have a different thing. We all have different things that we're looking at, and I mean, hey, defensive line wise, you want to bring in a guy that's a disruptor inside. Hey, in the secondary, you already said, hey, you want to see another shutdown guy. Plus, we have Meek.
Well, and that's another thing I was going to bring up too is we got to sign.
He's a free agent.
So if we don't sign Meek, then we have to go after a shutdown cornerback. You know what I mean? We have to have a corner.
So, and that's where I can see that happening. And I mean, if you look at it, hey, by the way, Damian Arnett, I think, just got busted with meth and machine guns and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, he got arrested. I think it was January 6th, what I read.
Wasn't it in Dallas?
No, it was in Texas somewhere. I don't think it was Dallas.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, so, obviously we have made a ton of mistakes at that position. And I think, like he said, I mean, if you bring in an Xavier Rowe or the Howard Xavier Howard from freaking the Dolphins, something like that.
Personally, man, I like Sneed, like I said earlier. I think Sneed fits. I think Sneed fits the culture we built, right?
So
I just think he's
like
got that swag.
I can see that.
You on that one over the other guys I just mentioned. I can.
And I'm 100% down for stealing somebody from the Chiefs or the Chargers or the Broncos.
Well, and obviously the Chargers are going to let everybody and their mother go this year.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I've been seeing a lot of trade rumors on Mac.
So fill us in.
I just there's a lot of interest, man, in trade. I don't know that he'll get to hit the free market like people thought.
Wow.
We'll see. I mean, the league year starts here pretty soon. They're going to have to start shredding money out there. So they're either going to have to deal him or cut him, and I just don't know. So what'd they give up to get him? A 4th round pick from the Bears?
I think it was a third. I think it was a 3rd round pick.
No, it definitely wasn't a 3rd. I know. I'm almost positive it was a 4th because I remember yelling and cussing like, "God damn it, we could have gave up a 4th and had fucking Mac back."
Right.
That's nothing.
No, absolutely. And I mean, like, so that's heating up. And I mean, like, right now, I think all the tags are starting to come in place, right? You can tag.
Yeah, they got to be tagged here in the next week.
From actually tonight all the way up to like
the 9th.
March. March 9th?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think free agency opens the 11th.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, that's when we're really going to see who we can actually make a move on, right?
Yeah.
So,
T. Higgins is already tagged. He's the first one.
T. Higgins out of Cincinnati.
Cincy, yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, like,
I thought there was one other guy that got tagged too. Oh yeah, it was Jones. Didn't he get tagged? Tagged by the Chiefs
again?
I think they tagged him.
No,
it's Jones.
I didn't see that. If true.
I don't know if he signed it, but I'm pretty sure they're using their tag on Chris Jones from what I read. Let me double check. I might be wrong on that.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like, that's where it's going to get interesting, where we can see, hey, you know what, who we can make a run at, right? Like, let's say right now, we got all this money. You guys said, hey, we need to up. The interesting thing is, you guys both went defense.
Yeah, man. I think.
Hold up. The strength of our team this year was defense. And in the first 2 ways we said, hey, was to let's upgrade the defense. So, guys, let me ask you this. We went 2 defensive free agents. Give me 2 offensive free agents that you think, hey, we need to make a run at if we get an opportunity.
I mean, obviously, the first one's going to be Josh, right? Let's see if we can get Josh back at a good deal because we're not tagging him, so he's a free agent. Man, I got a whole list here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 offensive linemen that I don't think are going to come expensive, and they're going to be fairly cheap, right? Like you got this Connor Williams guy. I believe he was in Miami. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
He was on pace to be one of the top 10 linemen. He tore his ACL last year. And man, if he's healthy, he's a tackle. You got another guy out of Miami who played guard but can play tackle too. So I mean, there's just I would go offensive lineman and Josh.
All right, offensive free agent. Who's the guy you're making a run at right now?
If I'm making a run at an offensive free agent, man, I want to go after Tyron Smith from the Cowboys, offensive tackle.
Is he a free agent?
How old is he though?
He's in his 30s, but he's a dude. I mean, that dude's solid if he is, he is healthy. He has injury prone. Don't let me fool you by saying that he's a fucking bad motherfucker. He is when he's not injured.
Yeah.
But he'd definitely be an upgrade on our offensive line if he was healthy. So
that's the big key, though. You're gonna look at a guy commanding. He's gonna command some money.
I don't know if he really commands a bunch of money either. If you look at it, because of his injury history. So, I mean, he might be looking for he's not looking for top tier money, but he might be like middle of the pack. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it might be a good pickup.
Yeah.
So when I was looking at, because I brought up, the top 100 free agents, and the Patriots got I'll butcher his name, but they got an offensive tackle They have him in at guard for a little bit, but he's just a better fit at a tackle. Onewinu or something like that. The dude is late 20s. Man, he's not a top tier guy, so he's probably not going to command a ton of money. It'd be a good option there.
So, okay, now you guys said something too, like, hey, actually, all in was like, yo, JJ, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So to wrap up this mini EP here, okay, all in right now.
Yep.
You're the GM. You're sitting at your desk.
Mm-hmm.
JJ comes in, right? You're smoothing him over. What is your offer? What are you telling them? And give me a ballpark and how many years?
Man, I'm going to give him two. I'm throwing out there 224. 2 in the 22 to 24 range, 11, 12 a year. I don't know that I could get the 3, man. As the GM, you got to look at it. Zamir played well, right? And then there's a lot of running backs in the draft.
So so you're telling me you're still going to give them almost $12 million a year right now? If you see JJ right now, you're telling them, hey, I'm giving you $12 million a year.
Yeah, I mean, before he got hurt, man, he was third in rushing and having a shitty year.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So, and that was third in rushing when the line wasn't playing all that well either.
Okay. Matty B, you're the GM. JJ walks in that door. What's your offer?
Yeah, I'm right around that 12, 13 million a year range. Like you said, he had that rough start to the season last year, kind of like Colin mentioned. So I mean, if you can, the way I would work it out on his contract is I would put in his contract, if you hit so many mile markers or whatever, you could get more than the 12 million or whatever, 13. You can earn up to 14, whatever.
Yeah, with incentives.
With incentives, you know what I mean? And then and then you can also put in the contract too. If your first year, your second year, you could make more your second year. You know what I mean? So there's something for him to look forward to if he does good. You know what I mean? So instead of going in and going all out being 16 million a year, like a Christian McCaffrey type contract, just to keep him around, and he does some shit like he did at the beginning of the season, he's not going to be worth it. So if you give him something to look forward to be like, hey, if you break this milestone at this part of the year, you'll have 15, 16, 13, 14 million. Next year, if you hit it, you'll have 16, 17 million, because the cap's going to keep going up every year. So you'll be able to afford a little bit more.
No, I get what you're saying. So here's my deal, all right? And I might be the cheapskate out of all of you guys. Because I'm going to tell you I'm like this. I'm going to walk a man. I'm going to say, look, JJ, I love you. But I can't give you that $12 million a year, bro. I'm like, you know what? At $12 to $14 million a year, after the year that we just had, I feel like we need to. What's up, girl? How are you, Belle?
I'm good. How are you? Hey, Alan.
Good. What's up, Belle? So we're talking the JJ contract real quick, Belle, just to fill you in. If we were the GM, what's the offer we give JJ to sign back with the Raiders? Okay. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not going to give him 12. I tell him, look, we struggled. I really think right now the top of the market is around $12 million a year for a running back. Okay, $11 million. That's top of the market money. I offer him about $8.5 to $9 million a year. Okay, I give him the 3-year. Okay, and I backload the 3rd year with incentives. Where the 3rd year and the 2nd year, you can say, hey, your base is 8.5, but we move up from there. I just don't see the running back market going to $13 million. I mean, Saquon Barkley's at what? 11? 10?
No. Well, Saquon's a free agent.
Well, I mean, last year he was at 10?
Him and Josh got the same deal last year.
Okay. So
Yeah. So we're not tagging Josh because the tag price is $14.1 million.
yeah,
Right. So we know
yeah.
they're not getting to that number. In my opinion, at 9 million, he's going to walk. Somebody's going to give him 10 to 12. In my opinion.
But
and like I said, I'm okay if he walks because we're not paying him enough. I'm okay with it. We can't get caught up in overpaying a running back. But I think the 10 to 12, 11, 12 a year, I think is a solid number because it's going to keep going up. But you might see that running back market reset. The high dollar, a lot of money for a year or two, because you got Saquon, you got Derrick Henry, you got Josh, you got Austin Eckler, you got Tony Pollard.
There's a lot of free agents, and
So
those are
there's
all big money. Dude, King Henry. Can you see King Henry as a Raider?
that'd be
Bro.
dope. That'd be dope.
King Henry as a Raider. I mean, like that would be an insane move. Now, hey guys, as you guys know, we're going mini series style. So hey, guys, please click like, subscribe, and share. Guys, it's your boy Raider Will, along with the Silver and Black Radio Podcast family. And hey, thank you for tuning into our mini series. Hey, guys, we'll see you in the next episode.